Your budget isn't the problem with your finances, and it never was. In today's video, I'm gonna walk you through my 3 biggest money mistakes from 2025 and tell you how I'm approaching money differently in 2026. Hey, I'm Katherine, founder of Imperfect Budget, and I help women stop playing small with money by uncovering the mindset blocks that are holding them back so they can make real, lasting change to their finances. The first mistake I made in 2025 was falling victim to impulse and emotional spending. These 2 types of spending often go hand in hand because when you're stressed or tired or overwhelmed, you just want relief. And so you impulsively buy something to make you feel better in that moment. This is not a personal failing, it's science. Dopamine is a neurotransmitter that is linked to motivation, reward, and pleasure. It's responsible for that rush you get when buying something new. But when you're tired, your self-control is lower, and your brain starts craving that quick reward to make you feel better, at least for a little while, which is exactly how I end up lying in bed at night ordering jewelry off of Instagram. But in 2026, I'm not making empty promises to myself. I'm not gonna say that I will never ever impulse buy again because honestly, that's unrealistic. But impulse buying is a symptom of a core problem. In my case, it's usually a symptom of being too stressed and not well rested. So rather than trying to control my spending, I'm focusing on restorative activities when I feel stressed and tired so I can recover my energy without scrolling through sales on Amazon. The next big mistake I made in 2025 was not planning ahead for major purchases. And when I say big purchases, I really only mean one. Last year, my husband and I decided we wanted a puppy. We discussed the upfront cost of going through a breeder. We had the money, and so we brought home Bailey. But we did no planning about what happened after we brought the puppy home. $400 vet visits every month, vaccines, food, treats, toys, all added up to thousands of dollars of unplanned expenses, some of which we had to dip into our emergency fund to cover. Even now that he's fully grown, we still have recurring expenses like daycare, food, medications that all add up to about $300 a month that we've had to incorporate into our budget. So the lessons I'm carrying into 2026 are clear. First, to set aside more money into a medium-term savings account, somewhere where I can hold a couple $1,000s for unexpected expenses without having to touch my emergency fund. And second, to plan ahead as much as possible at how purchases will affect my monthly budget. Not necessarily to prevent me from buying something, but to give me clarity into how that will affect my finances. I believe in eyes wide open finances, which means you can make any decision you want with your money, but you should do it with complete clarity about how it will affect your personal finances and your life. Finally, as I reviewed my spending from last year, I realized something shocking. I spent twice as much money on shopping as I did on social activities, which didn't even make any sense because I don't like shopping. What I do love is going out to eat amazing food with my husband, going to summer festivals, and visiting museums. But last year, my spending didn't reflect that. I realized my spending and my personal priorities were not aligned. So in 2026, I'm refocusing my spending to prioritize the things that I value most, planning ahead for date nights with my husband, and making weekend plans that I know I will enjoy. This isn't about spending more, it's about spending on purpose, because your budget should support the life that you want to live. Looking back, none of these mistakes were made because I was bad with money. They just came from being human, being tired and stressed or even excited. And that's the point that I want to leave you with. Being good with money is not about having perfect discipline. It's about recognizing your mistakes, making changes, and working to align your money with your true life values. So in 2026, I'm not trying to be better with money. I'm just trying to be more intentional and more honest with myself so that my spending more closely aligns with the things that are most important to me. Hey, thanks for sticking around to the end here. I had a little bit of a delay between filming this video and editing and releasing this video because we bought a house. But the great thing about this is that it reminded me how important these 3 rules are, because now we're playing in the big leagues. We own a home. When you own a home, it is so easy to impulse spend or to overspend because you're doing projects around the house and you want your home to look beautiful. But I remind myself over and over again to return to these rules. I have to be so cautious about impulse spending because it's really easy to do it in big ways when you own a home. It's been really important for us to create a budget for different projects that we want to do at the house, so we can start intentionally saving for those things. And most importantly, my husband and I are having many open conversations about where our priorities lie with the house so that we can align our vision of what it means to live in this home. So although my life looks a little bit different now from when I initially filmed this video, it's only reminded me how these 3 rules are so important to how I manage my money so that I can live the best life possible using my money as a guide. Thanks for tuning in, and I'll see you next time.